Hi, folks. Um, I've just been so enjoying people posting their messages for the world, and I'm just so struck by the importance of these messages that people have been given. And, my strong conviction that trans and genderqueer and non binary folks really are here to be teachers and leaders, that there are things that we can see and that we can know. From living in gray areas of life that other people just can't see and know. And so part of that is, sharing about our own experience, but also because of the ways that we are living outside of dominant understandings in one area of life, that for many of us, it has helped us to be more free in many areas of life. And so that we are important teachers for people who are wanting to free themselves in many ways. And so we have many messages that go well beyond just talking about gender and our experiences of gender. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what stands in the way of us getting out these important messages. So I don't know if you relate to this, but as an introvert, oftentimes as a transgender person, since I don't have a place in society and I don't feel a sense of belonging in my culture, that it is hard to break into life. It is hard to break into society. Similar to how I have sometimes felt as an introvert, say at a party, in conversations where you have something that you really want to say, and you're kind of watching the conversation and it's going back and forth, and you're like, okay, how can I break in? And you start to say something and then people don't hear you and they talk over you, and so then you try again, and it's so vulnerable to want to put yourself out there, and it's like nobody can see you or hear you, and there's not a place where you're being given a platform to be able to speak and to be able to share what you know, even though it might be really, really important and it might be really beneficial to everyone. But there's just so many ways as a transgender person that, I have felt like the invisible man walking through life. Kind of those movies when, somebody is invisible and then all of a sudden they encounter somebody who can see them. That's oftentimes how I feel when, I'm so used to fitting myself into a dominant world that is not my world, that when people can see me in my authenticity, it's kind of shocking, and it kind of takes me aback, and it can be vulnerable because I'm so used to not being seen. And so, what are those things for you that are standing in the way, that are keeping you from feeling visible and from allowing your message to be seen and to be heard? And so that you are here with an important message. I know that. I have a strong feeling that you wouldn't be in this group otherwise, that the people in this group are people who really have been gifted by our creators with important messages that other people need to hear, that is part of our collective healing. And so it's tremendously important, I think, for us as a group and also for us as individuals to really clear the way of those things that are obstacles. And so, I think for many of us, feeling safe in the world is such a huge issue. And so being seen and being heard also can stir up those kind of fears about what happens when I am seen, what happens when I am heard. So I think many of us have ambivalent feelings about being seen and heard in the first place because of not being certain whether it is really safe to be seen and to be heard. And so, there could be fears of being attacked when you put yourself out there. I know we just had a conversation in this group about the negative comments about my ad for this group. And so that can reinforce for many of us, what are some of our worst fears? That if I put myself out there, especially in a cultural climate where there's so much polarization and so much unkindness and so much hatred and so much scapegoating that is, since we are used to being scapegoats in our culture to begin with, it can be very terrifying to put ourselves out there and to seemingly, invite that kind of attention. And so what kind of inner resources are needed to be able to step into being the leaders that we are meant to be? And so, are you so busy just trying to survive that you don't have time or energy to be able to devote to your work in the world or getting your message out there because you're living in a defensive way that is taking all of your resources and not allowing you to actualize your full potential and to really be the person that you are meant to be here and to have the role that you're meant to have here. And maybe you're feeling scared of putting yourself out there, of what will happen if you step into that destiny that you know is yours and that some part of you wants. But maybe there are other parts of you that are not feeling so sure. And so, when you are ready to clear out those obstacles, to really step into your full power and to really embody your message in the most powerful way that you can, that's what I'm here for, is to help people with that. And so shoot me a private message. Let me know. We got David and Joy who are tuned in now. If there's anything that you want to share from your own experience or any questions, this would be a great time. Otherwise, post in our group. So let me know kind of, what are the things that are standing in the way that you see that are blocking you from being able to break into life? Because I know for myself for a long time, I had tried in so many ways that it really just felt impossible. Like I just found myself saying that a lot, that I just can't fulfill and actualize my mission because it's impossible, because there's no space for me, because I try and break in and people can't see me and people can't hear me. And it was so incredibly frustrating and just filled me with so much despair that I really felt at a huge crisis. Like I can't be here and not, because that is so painful to me. To not be able to do the work that I was born to do. And yet I couldn't find a way to do it. And I do believe that that kind of journey does require some support, because it does take a tremendous amount of courage and a tremendous amount of energy and guidance to be able to break through those things within us that block us from our highest potential. And so, in our communities, then there are so many external things that are standing in the way that, we just really have to clear out to the best of our ability those internal things that are standing in the way, because we do have a lot of challenges and adversities to be able to be seen as the teachers and the leaders that we are meant to be. So anyhow, thanks for watching. And I look forward to further conversation in our group. And if you are feeling excited for this work and ready to bust out, whenever you're feeling ready to bust out, then contact me and let me know, and see what I can do to help with that. And hey, A.L. Richardson, nice to see you too. So great, thanks very much, folks. And I'll check in with you in another couple of days. So thanks for watching.